Hey, Cowboys fans! Welcome back to the hub for everything about America's team, where we break down news, rumors, and film room insights with a focus on what really matters on the field. This offseason feels like one of those moments where every story, every headline, and every move across the league seems connected. As if the entire NFC East is spinning on the same axis, while the coaching carousel keeps turning. There's an undercurrent that what happens in New York might quietly reshape the competitive landscape. The constant chatter surrounding John Harbaugh and a potential landing spot with the Giants has only grown louder, and if that hire happens, it immediately elevates how serious that franchise is perceived. A coach of his caliber entering a division rival's locker room changes the entire conversation. Not just about wins and losses next season, but about culture, identity, and sustained competitiveness in the long term. From Dallas's perspective, the ripple effects of a move like that are impossible to ignore. Harbaugh represents a combination of stability, toughness, and a football philosophy that demands respect. There are obvious questions about how his approach would translate to a new environment, but the certainty he brings can't be understated. This isn't just about a new face on the sidelines, it's about how the NFC East will recalibrate its strategies, forcing every team to consider not only immediate performance, but long-term positioning. For the Cowboys, that means the offseason is anything but business as usual. Every decision now carries additional weight because rivals are making aggressive moves, and staying static is no longer an option. The search for a new defensive coordinator underscores that urgency. This isn't a superficial process or a formality. Dallas has cast a wide net, conducted thorough evaluations, and engaged in detailed conversations to understand not just what each candidate brings, but how they could shape the defense over multiple seasons. The list of prospects continues to grow, and with every name added, the vision becomes sharper. There's a clear preference for coaches who are young, adaptable, and equipped with a modern approach to defense. It's about seeking the right fit, even if that comes with some uncertainty, rather than defaulting to what's familiar or safe. One candidate generating significant interest is Christian Parker. His background checks all the boxes without feeling like a recycled choice. Parker has extensive experience working with defensive backs and understanding passing game intricacies, which is increasingly valuable in a league dominated by high-octane offenses. He's moved through multiple systems and coaching trees, gaining insight into defenses that emphasize structure, discipline, and creative coverage disguises. That blend of professional and collegiate experience has produced coaches known for flexibility and problem-solving rather than rigid adherence to one scheme. And it's exactly the type of mindset Dallas appears to value. What makes Parker stand out even more is what he hasn't done yet. He has never officially held a defensive coordinator title, and in past cycles, that might have counted against him. This time, however, there's a sense that the Cowboys are willing to invest in potential upside, trusting in his ability to grow into the role. That shift in philosophy signals an evolution in how the organization views coaching hires. Less about familiarity, more about forward-thinking vision. Dallas is embracing innovation, which could pay dividends in an era where defensive adaptability is critical. Another name drawing attention is Charlie Bolin, whose recent work with the Giants placed him in a challenging position that demanded immediate adaptation and problem-solving. His defense has consistently demonstrated creativity, aggression, and the ability to maximize player strengths, even under less than ideal circumstances. That kind of responsiveness is increasingly valuable as injuries, roster turnover, and game-to-game adjustments become unavoidable. Bolin's background in coaching linebackers and his exposure to aggressive defensive philosophies add depth to his profile, making him a versatile candidate in a search that prioritizes sustained impact over flash. The broader pattern here is clear. The Cowboys are not just interviewing names. They are evaluating philosophies, adaptability, and alignment with a long-term vision for the defense. Each candidate brings unique insights, whether in pass coverage, defensive line play, or linebacker development. But the interconnections between these coaches show just how interconnected the league has become. Ideas flow from one staff to another, evolving as they adapt to modern offensive schemes. The team's approach emphasizes patience and thoroughness, with early conversations often conducted remotely to gauge communication style, philosophy, and overall alignment before moving forward. Brian Flores remains a name that can't be ignored. His reputation for aggressive, disciplined defense precedes him, and the timing of his availability adds a layer of intrigue. Flores has a track record of transforming units quickly, instilling confidence and clarity, which is exactly the type of leadership Dallas seems to value. The challenge isn't capability, it's alignment and timing. Flores is selective about his next move, and the Cowboys must balance urgency with strategic patience. Knowing the right hire will define the defense for years to come. This search is about more than filling a vacancy, it's about defining identity. Will the defense prioritize speed and coverage versatility or lean toward pressure and physical dominance? Will it focus on complex disguises or precise execution? The interviews suggest a hybrid approach, one designed to counter the offenses dominating the league right now, while creating a foundation for sustained competitiveness. As rival teams make moves and headlines shift daily, the temptation for quick answers is high, but Dallas appears committed to a deliberate, thoughtful process. Even the candidate pool itself signals change. The Cowboys are exploring options they might have overlooked in the past, emphasizing philosophical alignment, situational awareness, and teaching ability. Offenses are faster, quarterbacks are more confident, and coordinators who cannot adapt are exposed quickly. This new mindset highlights a willingness to expand the search beyond traditional comfort zones, seeking coaches who think differently, even if their paths are unconventional. A recurring theme is interconnected philosophies rather than titles. Coaches coming from systems that emphasize post-snap flexibility, timing disruption, and quarterback hesitation are prioritized. And that hesitation is exactly what modern defenses aim to create. Physical domination is less necessary when strategic disruption is consistent, and the Cowboys appear to recognize that distinction. Complementing these efforts is a focus on situational excellence. No longer can talent alone carry the unit through critical moments. Third downs, red zone defense, and late-game adjustments are areas where coaching impact is amplified, and Dallas is clearly placing importance on candidates who can deliver in those high-pressure moments beyond the coordinator role. Versatility matters. Many of these candidates can contribute in multiple ways, ensuring staff cohesion rather than a collection of disconnected voices. Continuity, communication, and adaptability are becoming pillars of this new defensive vision. As this search continues, it becomes increasingly clear that the Cowboys are approaching this offseason with a mindset that prioritizes depth over spectacle. Every conversation, every interview, and every profile evaluation is layered with strategic intent. The front office is examining how each candidate thinks about in-game adjustments, personnel utilization, and situational football, rather than relying solely on past titles or flashy achievements. This approach reflects a deeper understanding that the modern NFL is not just about one season's wins, but about cultivating a defensive identity, capable of enduring change, injuries, and evolving offensive trends year after year. The candidate pool is diverse, and that diversity itself is a strength. Coaches are being considered not only for what they have done, but for how they have adapted to challenges and seized opportunities across multiple environments. Whether it is handling a secondary struggling against high-powered passing attacks, structuring a front seven to mask weaknesses, or developing young linebackers into game-changing contributors, the common thread is flexibility. Dallas seems intent on selecting a leader who can navigate complexity, foster growth, and instill a consistent mindset across the locker room. Christian Parker's profile, for instance, illustrates the value of untapped potential. While he may not have held a defensive coordinator title before, his exposure to complex passing defenses and his ability to teach and mentor players across multiple levels positions him as someone capable of introducing fresh concepts. The Cowboys appear willing to take that calculated risk because it aligns with a broader philosophy, building a defense that evolves rather than stagnates. That type of long-term thinking contrasts sharply with previous cycles, where short-term security often outweighed growth potential. Charlie Boland's candidacy reinforces a different, yet complementary, principle. His ability to adapt quickly in a high-pressure environment demonstrates the kind of situational intelligence Dallas values. Boland's defenses were not only aggressive but also strategic, showing that speed, discipline, and creativity can coexist. It's the kind of approach that counters modern offenses effectively and gives players confidence that the system is designed to highlight their strengths. In essence, the Cowboys are looking for a leader who can make their personnel better, not just fit them into a pre-existing system. The strategic lens through which Dallas is conducting interviews also highlights patience as a competitive advantage. Remote conversations, layered vetting, and thorough philosophical assessments Allow the team to filter options carefully before committing to any hire, unlike past cycles, where urgency sometimes dictated decisions. This methodical approach increases the likelihood of a hire that fits seamlessly into both the current roster and long-term vision. It's an acknowledgement that process matters just as much as results, especially in a division that continues to evolve rapidly. Brian Flores continues to generate buzz. For good reason. His defenses have consistently combined discipline with aggression, and his ability to accelerate development within a unit is a skill that few can replicate. However, Flores' career trajectory suggests that timing and fit are crucial. While he has proven capability, his next move must align with personal aspiration and the broader organizational strategy. Dallas must weigh urgency against alignment, understanding that a misstep could have repercussions beyond just one season. That tension exemplifies the delicate balancing act the front office faces throughout this process. The reality is that the Cowboys are not simply trying to fill a vacancy, they are defining a culture for the next chapter of their defense. The league is increasingly dominated by versatile offenses, and the margin for error is thinner than ever. A defensive coordinator must not only design schemes but also anticipate trends, adjust quickly to in-game developments, and maintain communication across a diverse group of players. The candidates under consideration bring a variety of tools to the table, from structural discipline to creative coverage disguises, from pass rush innovation to situational awareness, creating a comprehensive evaluation framework that goes beyond traditional metrics. An additional layer involves the interconnectedness of coaching philosophies across the league. Many of the candidates share exposure to systems emphasizing timing disruption, post-snap flexibility, and quarterback hesitation. That kind of strategic consistency is what allows defenses to succeed, even against superior talent on the other side of the ball. The Cowboys are clearly seeking a coordinator who understands these nuances, someone capable of synthesizing diverse influences into a cohesive defensive identity that can evolve alongside league trends rather than lag behind them. This search also underscores the growing recognition that a defense must complement the offense to achieve sustained success. For years, the expectation in Dallas was that elite talent could compensate for scheme deficiencies. Today, the emphasis is on creating a defense that operates with intelligence, precision, and adaptability. Third downs, red zone situations, and late-game adjustments are no longer just testing moments, they are proving grounds where coaching acumen is measured in real time. Selecting the right leader to navigate these high-pressure scenarios is pivotal to building a unit that can compete consistently at the top level. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News. Drop a like and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. Shockwaves are rippling through the NFL as news breaks that the Dallas Cowboys have parted ways with head coach Brian Schottenheimer, while official statements remain tight-lipped. Sources close to the organization suggest that mounting pressure from fans and internal dissatisfaction played a critical role in the decision. Schottenheimer, who had been at the helm for a relatively short period, now joins a long list of coaches whose tenure with the Cowboys ended amid controversy and unmet expectations. The fan base, notoriously passionate and vocal, reportedly reached a boiling point after a series of disappointing performances. Social media platforms lit up almost immediately after the announcement, with supporters voicing frustration, disbelief, and in some cases, relief. Pundits speculate that the decision may be as much about appeasing the fervent fan base as it is about strategic adjustments within the organization. Cowboys ownership, facing the pressure of an impatient audience and a team hungry for results, appears ready to pivot quickly in search of a new leader capable of steering the franchise toward stability and success. While the team has yet to name a successor, whispers in the league suggest that high-profile coordinators and even some former head coaches could be on the short list. Speculation also hints at a possible shift in offensive philosophy, as insiders question whether the team will look for someone with a more dynamic approach to invigorate a roster full of talent but lacking consistent execution. Analysts argue that the timing of the firing, coming at a point when momentum could still be salvaged, underscores the urgency felt at the highest levels of management. Despite the turmoil, players are reportedly trying to remain focused, though locker room dynamics are expected to shift as uncertainty looms. The decision has already sparked heated debates among fans and commentators alike. Was this the inevitable end of Schottenheimer's tenure, or a premature move fueled by frustration and impatience, as the Cowboys navigate this transitional period. One thing is clear: the pressure from the stands will not ease, and every move from this point forward will be scrutinized under a microscope. The NFL community now waits with bated breath, eager to see who will inherit the reins of one of the league's most storied franchises. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.